Hello and welcome to JUMPSCARE, quick reviews of short horror games. Another video so soon after the last one? It must have been in the cards. I play a lot of indie horror games over on my other channel. I just find it super fun to see what small teams and single developers with limited resources, yet unlimited imaginations can do. And this time, let's take a break from exploring haunted houses, fighting zombies, breaking into abandoned amusement parks, or whatever other nonsense we get up to on these spooky adventures of ours. Let's instead pretend it's 1995, lean back in our office chairs, dust off the disk drives, pop in a CD-ROM, and enjoy a nice game of Solitaire. Forbidden Solitaire. Forbidden Solitaire is, well, exactly what it sounds like. A game of Solitaire developed by Grey Alien Games and Night Signal Entertainment, the latter of which is most well known for their hit analog horror game, Home Safety Hotline. Much like in that game, Forbidden Solitaire takes place entirely on the computer of a fictional character named William Roberta, who has found a copy of the banned 1995 CD-ROM game Forbidden Solitaire at the flea market. A game that faced lots of controversy when it was released because of its weirdly violent content. So of course, being a real gamer, William just can't wait to play it. Booting it up on his PC in 2019, William enjoys the dark 90s fantasy setting, the outdated graphics and the simple but tricky card game, while his sister Emily digs up and messages him more and more details about the controversy surrounding the game back in the day. Which quickly begins to turn more sinister as she finds out there's much more to the case than just a few concerned soccer moms. Now when you hear the term analog horror, you're likely imagining three things: outdated aesthetics, glitchy technology, and a meta-narrative that requires a deeper understanding of the media in order to dig up hidden plot threads so you can understand what's happening. And in the case of Forbidden Solitaire, two of those things are true. Yeah, Forbidden Solitaire really is just what is advertised. A card game wrapped in a strange dark fantasy tale about a wizard entering a scary dungeon, solving puzzles and fighting monsters as he searches for the key to immortality. All of which is done by playing Solitaire, of course. Now the card game itself is the meat of the whole experience, and it is about as simple as it gets. You draw a card, and then you attach one card of a value either higher or lower to it, revealing more cards as you go until you clear the board. That's it. But it doesn't stay that simple for very long. It soon starts introducing power-ups, jokers with various effects, and state hazards that are created by whatever monster you may be fighting at the time. It's fun, a little bit addictive, and really satisfying when you manage to pull off a long combo or use your power-ups and jokers to your advantage. And sure, given that card games are randomized, you'll sometimes just be dealt that bum hand that you can't really do anything with, and that can be frustrating, but that's card games for ya. You knew the deal going in. Now, do you remember a moment ago when I described the in-universe game as being charmingly 90s? Well, I was being serious. I mean, look at it. Look at the in-universe cover art. Look at this magazine ad. Look at the illustrations. Read the narration. Everything about Forbidden Solitaire's presentation is just crazy, gross and gory enough that you can't believe it would draw controversy at the time, while still looking outdated and ridiculous enough that such a notion seems laughable in hindsight through the eyes of a modern player. But it nails the 90s aesthetic even harder with the various live-action news reports, commercials and TV shows that Emily sends your way throughout the game. But what about the story? What about the gameplay? How does it evolve beyond just playing cards and reading about a wizard who walks further into a dungeon? Well, that's just it. It doesn't. As much fun as Forbidden Solitaire is, and oh my god is it fun, it is very much a what you see is what you get kind of game. Power-ups and jokers aside, the core card game never truly changes. You don't end up actually digging through William's computer or the inner workings of the game looking for secrets like you would in other games, and the story itself doesn't really go anywhere all that unusual for an analog horror story. On the one hand, this can feel like it stops the game short of being something truly awesome, but on the other, it's kind of refreshing to see something that's just unapologetically itself without attaching a lot of extra bells and whistles. So it's really up to you what you prefer. Still though, once you've played Forbidden Solitaire, you've played it. The only real replay value lies in the cards being shuffled randomly in each match, and I will admit that it only took me an hour or so to kind of start wishing for some kind of endless mode, or at least to be given a choice on directions to go in the dungeon. But my main nitpick is that the story is not delivered in the most organic of ways. The way that Emily will sometimes send you old articles and videos works just fine, but most of the game's actual backstory is presented through these rather random audio flashbacks that just start playing on their own at scripted points in the game. They just kinda come and go without much of an in-universe explanation. I think it would be cool if you had to do something extra in order to find them, or if they were at least worked into the game a bit more smoothly. So if you're playing Forbidden Solitaire for any other reason than to enjoy the fun card game, look at the 90s horror aesthetic, and be told a simple spooky story, yeah, you're playing the game for the wrong reasons. As far as analog horror gameplay goes, Forbidden Solitaire is not comparable to things like Doki Doki Literature Club, Shipwrecked 64, Vile Exhumed, Pony Island, Kinito Pet, or anything like that. And as a card game, it doesn't go into the same territory as things like Inscription either. If you want deep dives into spooky old tech or highly strategic card battling, there are many far more advanced options out there for you to play. Really, to quote one of the concerned parents from 1995?
It's f***ing Solitaire!
But I mean, hey, if that's all you want, you're still looking at about 5 hours of spooky Solitaire fun. So if that sounds up your alley, I'd say that Forbidden Solitaire is an absolute steal for the price. I know that I had an absolute blast with it. And that's it for this episode of JUMPSCARE. If you'd like to watch me play the game, you can check the description below or click the card in the video to be taken straight to my Let's Play channel. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel to be informed of more short spooks in the future. See you there, folks, and bye bye.